Hello and welcome to this special broadcast, a curtain raiser for the Nagaland Super League that starts tomorrow. The stage is set for Nagaland's first top professional football league that promises to catapult local stars into the national stage. 7 top teams will take part in this inaugural edition of the NSL to be played across 2 venues of the Indira Gandhi Stadium in Kohima and Chumukadima Football Ground in Chumukadima. The grand opening ceremony of the league will take place in Chumukadima tomorrow in presence of AIFF President Kalyan Chaubey and Nagaland Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio. The state is agog and so is the Northeast, as another Super League is all set to make its debut. What does this mean for Nagaland football? Will it be a big boost for football for the Northeast, in the Northeast as a whole? To discuss this, I have with me NSL Chairman Benny Lamthiu, who is joining me from Nagaland. I also have Nivu Sedze, Chief Finance Officer of Sedze Zubza FC, one of the participating teams, one of the 7 teams that is going to take part in the Nagaland Super League. And joining me from Shillong is Mr. Larsing Ming Saiwan, owner of Shillong Lajong FC and former AIFF Vice President. Also on the show is Mr. Robert Romavia Roite, owner Aizawl FC, the first and only team from the Northeast to win the I-League title. A very warm welcome to all of you. So it's exciting, it's really exciting to discuss sports. Sports and music are the 2 things that unite the Northeast, and here we are discussing yet another league, a Super League, making its debut in another state of the Northeast, Nagaland this time, and we all are excited, isn't it, Mr. Larsing Ming?
I think it's a very, very interesting development to see, the government of Nagaland taking such keen initiative in promoting football, and the way the structure of the NSL has been conceptualized and the kind of backing that the state government has been giving them, along with the local state football association. This is good news for Nagaland football and also good news for Indian football, because, Nagaland, at the end of the day, the first captain of the Indian national team post-independence was a Naga gentleman, and I think
and it is on his birth anniversary. It is on his birth anniversary that the tournament is beginning. So yes, that's symbolic. That's symbolic indeed.
Symbolic, as well as it shows the inert potential that Nagaland has, and if this is really cultivated in the right direction, as we see a good vision coming up, I think it'll bode well for football in the long run, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot coming in from Nagaland football in the future.
Absolutely. Mr. Robert Romavia Rote, you have been a big advocate throughout of a football league in Nagaland. Today, that dream is coming true. How do you feel?
Really delighted that Nagaland government and Nagaland Football Association has come out with a very, ambitious plan to have Nagaland Super League. And the manner they plan for governing body and also the programs appears to be very good, and it is very encouraging that the Honorable Chief Minister and the government at large have keen interest, and they have liberal enough to give financial support also. I am very confident and very sure that Nagas will come up in a big way through this Nagaland Super League.
Absolutely. We all are confident. NSL Chairman, Mr. Benny Lamthiu, sir, tell us about the preparations. We believe there was a rehearsal today for tomorrow's inauguration. So how is the mood? Is it upbeat really across Nagaland? How are the youths looking at it, and the participating teams, of course?
Thank you, Goswamiji, for having me.
First of all,
of course, I am excited. The state is excited. Football lovers of my state is excited. Preparation is going on in full swing. There was a rehearsal this evening. The rehearsal has been good, well planned. It's going to be an extravaganza even, where we're going to showcase the football, the culture, as well as the love and passion of football in our state. All thanks to our government under the able leadership and visionary leadership of Honorable Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio, who has come out in full support for starting the league. It has been a long felt dream, and today this dream is going to become a reality. So excited, can't wait for it to kick off.
How are the clubs? How are the clubs preparing for it? How are they absolutely raring to go? The youngsters, especially, this is the first Premier League directly in association with the AIFF. It is being organized. What about the young boys and young football stars from Nagaland? Do you see them really upbeat before tomorrow's inauguration? And of course, we'll have the matches starting tomorrow.
Of course, the youngsters are a bit for the for the tournament. You see, this NSL, we have made sure that every franchise club have 620 players. That means we are conducting league with a vision for the future where youngsters can perform and deliver and showcase their skills and talent and take it to higher professional level. Of course, they are a bit about it because this is happening for the first time in our state. Of course, we're really excited. The youngsters, we're really excited. We have been visiting their coaching camps, their training camps. They are really excited, and we are expecting a very competitive and a very, what to say, top quality league.
Absolutely. Coming to you, Mr. Neiphiu Rio from one of the participating clubs, Aizawl FC. This is the first top club level tournament. Your club has been around for over a decade or more. How is this a special tournament that starts tomorrow? As a team, how does it feel?
It's not very clear. Am I to respond to you?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Yes, on the part of the Shillong Football Club, we are very glad to participate in the first season of the Nagaland Super League. We are a club which was formed in the year 2018. By God's grace, we are fortunate to have won 4 trophies so far, and one has run us up in some local tournaments here. But of course, with the vision and also the will to promote football at the grassroots, and also the desire to also see football grow here in our locality. Of course, we are so glad to participate in the first season of the NSL, and we are also thankful to the governing body of the NSL for opening this platform to the footballers here in Nagaland, particularly it's going to be a big platform for the Naga footballers.
Absolutely. It's not just a big platform for Naga football. It's once again a platform for Northeast football as a whole, isn't it, Mr. La Sing Ming? Whenever there's a Super League, whenever there's a local league in any of the states, any of the towns of the Northeast, of course, we do have guest players. We have players from other states playing. We have players from Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram playing in Meghalaya. We have players from Meghalaya, Manipur playing in Mizoram, and vice versa. So every time there is a tournament in the region, that's for the entire region to benefit from, and that's why it is so exciting, isn't it?
For me to answer again?
Okay, we are facing some issues with the audio there.
Can you hear me?
For me to answer again?
Hello?
No. Yeah.
You can hear me, right?
That's for Mr. La Sing Ming. Yeah.
So it's a very exciting times, as I said, because leagues are the foundation of development of football. You know, the ecosystem of development has to have a league. And the way that this entire Nagaland State League has been conceptualized is really, really encouraging. So we as football lovers and people who support football are extremely excited by the fact that Nagaland is going to have a very, very strong league, which has been ably promoted by the government there and ably supported by the associations. So this, as I said, is going to, I think, create maybe this is the new dawn and a new era for football in Nagaland, which is so essential for the development of football in India as a whole. Because if India as a country, we are to really, really catch up with the rest of Asia, we've got to have every part, every state of the entire country of 1.4 billion people, also contributing. And Nagaland, I think, is one of those states which can contribute tremendously, because the Nagas by nature, by their genetics are extremely athletic, strong, and their physique and their whole, they have a lot of potential for football, and that has been already, already discovered 76, 77 years back. And I think through this league, and the fact that we have just heard recently that they're also promoting a lot of junior players to play. Each team has to have 6 players under 20. I think that's an excellent, excellent concept which they are following, which is what national AIFF has also been promoting. The fact that they're following it at the state level is excellent, because that's where this league is going to be the pathway for the future footballers. That's how talent is going to be identified. That's how spectators are going to enjoy good football, and that's how the new generation youngsters are going to, partake in football, in live football, and not only television football. And all this is going to bode well. Also, interestingly, they are having the league in 2 different centers. So there's a stadium in Dimapur as well as Kohima. So the fact that infrastructure is also been created for holding such football tournaments is the added bonus. And it's great to see. Very, very heartening.
Do you think it's really exciting that it's the government here, the state government here, of course, with the State Olympic Association and the AIFF, the government has taken the lead in conducting this tournament, and that is also very encouraging, especially for the club owners and the players?
Yes, so when governments, especially in small states, when governments play a big role and collaborate with private bodies or state bodies like the state associations, and a proper partnership is created, I think that is the real recipe for success. I mean, equal contribution from both government and local stakeholders is essential for the long-term sustenance of any activity or initiative. So the fact that this entire exercise is being spearheaded by the Chief Minister himself bodes very, very well for Nagaland football. And tomorrow, as mentioned, we have Mr. Kalyan Chaube, AIFF President, coming all the way. So that means there is a lot of support coming in from the National Federation as well. So all very, very interesting, and we look forward to seeing the games.
Absolutely. Mr. Roite, Aizawl FC, of course, has been promoting grassroots level football, and so has been Shillong Lajong, 2 of the clubs. In fact, most of the clubs in the Northeast have been promoting grassroots level football. Very recently, if I'm not mistaken, you recruited, you hired, you roped in as many as 6 to 7 youths from Nagaland for the under-17 team of Aizawl FC. So both Lajong and Aizawl FC have been actually inducting youths from other states as well in large numbers. If you follow the history of both the clubs, you have been roping in players from the other state in large numbers. So this is encouraging clubs from the region actually supporting players from the region as a whole. It's not state-centric. Yes, players from the states are there, but the clubs, every club, be it Lajong, be it Aizawl, be it Rangdajit, be it Waingdo, be it the clubs from Manipur, we have roped in players from every corner of the region, and now we have this league in Nagaland, and we hope that clubs from here get bigger and the same can be reciprocated, and that's the kind of ecosystem that will make us a bigger powerhouse of football Northeast as we speak.
Yeah. It's true that Aizawl FC has decided to expand its area of operation in the form of football mission initiative, and I am very happy that we have recruited 5 Naga boys for AIFF Youth League being played at Chandigarh as of now also, and let me tell you that they perform very well also. And earlier we have, the first I-League player from Nagaland, Mr. Topi, was from Aizawl FC, and the first I-League player from Arunachal Pradesh, Mr. Tetrak Techi, was also from Aizawl FC, and the first I-League player from Tripura, Mr. Muana, was also from Aizawl FC, and I am very happy to share with you that Aizawl FC has such mission, and I do hope that with this new initiative, Nagaland will be in the football map very soon. And in my heart of hearts, I am thinking that football has come back to Nagaland in a big way. because as Larming has rightly said, Dr. Was the Indian captain, the legend of the Indian football. And Nagaland has been off for such a long time. And now new initiatives have come up. And I do hope that this will be a game changer and it will hugely impact Nagaland football scenario, especially in professional uh, FC side. Amateur football, of course, it will go on, but we have to go for professionalism, professional football. Nagaland has the potential. Nagaland has the talents.
Absolutely. Football coming back to the land of the legendary Dr. Tiao, and that's great news for everyone in the Northeast. Mr. Bene Lamthiu, the winners from NSL, what next for them? What next for the winners and the runners-up and the top players, top performers in the NSL? What is the roadmap?
See, the road ahead, we have in talks with the AIFF, and it has been agreed that the winner of the NSL will be promoted to I-League 3. And a new development is coming up in Northeast under the banner of Northeast Football Development Council. I think we are going to come up with a Northeast League in the near future. So we are in talks are in the pipeline that the runners-up of NSL might be given the opportunity to represent the state in the Northeast Football Development League. That's the way forward. That's the vision.
Absolutely.
Taking professionalism one step at a time.
Absolutely, and that's a great roadmap ahead, especially for the young players, the youngsters, especially the teenagers who will be playing in this tournament and playing in the I-League. For the top teams playing in the I-League after this, I-League 2 is a great thing to happen. Of course, now how many guest players are part of this tournament, if you have the figures? Roughly.
Yes, we have set a figure of 6 guest players from in and around and different parts of our state. 6 guest players from any state of our great nation.
Okay, so each club can have 6 guest players.
Yes.
And
from
how many of them,
part of India,
and how many of them can be in the playing 11? Is it 4, or are we allowing more or less?
No, we are. For the time being, we are concentrating on 3 guest players in the playing 11.
Okay.
And 2 under 20 players in the starting 11.
Okay, great. So the focus is on giving local talent a chance, and the focus is on giving youth a chance. Mr. Nebu said, say the youngsters in your club would be really excited about this golden opportunity provided by the NSL.
Surely they are really excited. Going by the format of the tournament, 2 under-20 players are allowed to be there in the field, and we have a squad of 30, and out of the 30 squad, we have 7 under-20 players in our squad. And in the presence of Mr. Lazming Sawyang here, we have also 3 guest players who have played for Shillong Lajong, another from Nagaland, another club, and 2 players from Manipur for our guest players.
Absolutely. Mr. Bene, very quickly, how has been the response in terms of ticket sales and how are the people, football-loving people of Nagaland responding to the tournament? Do you have any update on that as of now? Of course, there is still much time, around 20 hours to go for the inauguration, and a lot of ticket sales will happen tomorrow outside the stadium area. But roughly, do you see a hype and excitement surrounding this tournament in terms of ticket sales?
It is the first time that such kind of league is happening in our state. And Nagaland is a very football-loving state. So the heat is there. As far as the ticket sales and controversy is concerned, a team of well-established group is taking care of that. And I've been informed that the ticket sales are going on well. Online tickets are going on through a portal by the name goes by the name of ahibi.com, and every club, every franchise has been given some complimentary tickets, which they are selling it out to their well-wishers and to their supporters. So the demand is there, the heat is there, and I believe that this league is going to boom.
Absolutely, that's great news. The demand is there. Ticket sales have picked pace. I remember the days in Aizawl and Shillong back then, even the local leagues, buses full of crowds used to come from the villages. We used to have 6,000 to 7,000 people watching a third division match in Shillong, in the heart of Shillong. I'm sure Nagaland will also witness these scenes very soon. We'll take a very short break here, lots more on the other side. Welcome back. You're watching this special broadcast on the first edition of the Nagaland Super League. I have an esteemed panel with me discussing this exciting tournament. On to you, Mr. La Sing Ming, once again. Football in the Northeast now is no longer, it's not just a sport. It also brings along with it a number of opportunities, livelihood opportunities, the coaches, the support staff, the groundsmen, the physios. In Northeast, be it Aizawl FC, be it Shillong Lajong FC, I believe most of the staff, right from the coaches to the support coaches, the assistant coaches, the physios, the doctors, the groundsmen, everything we have, we are hiring local talent. So that also creates this employment for the local youths who are into the sport, isn't it? So it's great as the ecosystem gets bigger, more and more tournaments that are popular. It creates those avenues in every state, isn't it?
Sports in general and football in particular is quite a big employer, as you've mentioned. Is not only the football players, but there are coaches, there are support staff, wardens, cooks, drivers, support staff, physiotherapists, doctors, and even sports management staff. So I mean, sports management as a educational vertical is also becoming very popular, and a lot of students nowadays actually take up sports management as a career option. And even within our own club, our general manager was, one of the first, young boys from the Northeast to actually study an MBA in football. He did it from Liverpool University. And of course, that was about almost a decade back. I, at that point of thought he was quite adventurous when he came and met me. But when you look at it in today's context, I think it's going to be the way forward. I mean, India as a country, we are a young country. Sports is gaining traction. The youth are engaged in sports in general. And as you can see, even music, it's not only the Northeast, it's the entire country. We've seen the phenomena with Coldplay. 3 back-to-back sold-out concerts in Mumbai, followed with 2 mega concerts in Ahmedabad. So, India as a country as a whole, I think sports is gaining huge traction. And as far as football is concerned, it's already very, very clear that it's the second most popular sport in the country. And as far as Northeast is concerned, it is the most popular. It's very, very heartening that now all the different states of the Northeast are now waking up to this realization. And we are seeing football opening up in different parts of the Northeast, different pockets. It's great to see players from smaller states, states that were earlier not very much represented in the I-League, also participating, also having players in the I-League. So this is all good news for football in general. And I think Northeast has much as we've done a lot. I mean, last 2 decades we've had a lot of Indian players in every national team. I think almost 30%, 35, sometimes even 40% of every senior national team makeup has players from the Northeast. But I feel that number could perhaps gain in, if not numbers, gain in quality in the years going forward with the contribution of other states. Earlier, it used to be Manipur alone, then Mizoram came along, Meghalay's played his part, now Assam is opening up, and now we see states like Arunachal and particularly now Nagaland making a huge initiative towards promoting the game. Just here, I hope that as much as they're setting up the senior league, they will also, I believe, work towards grassroots development. And I believe there's a lot of infrastructure and plan going on there. So I think once they get The entire footballing structure set right from grassroots to youth football to this senior league football, which is the National Nagaland Super League. I'm sure that within a few years, we're going to see many, many players. I mean, last 2 years, we've had 3 Naga boys in the I-League team in Lajong. This year, we've got one who's doing exceptionally well, is always there in the 18. And these are boys who have just grown in the villages and developed and nurtured their talent just based on pure talent. There's been not much of, football education per se for these kids. They've just grown because they just played football and, somehow the other, they just went from one level to the other. But once this ecosystem of development, of leagues comes up, there'll be many, many more coming up. I'm very, very confident about
Absolutely.
that
So the football,
looking forward.
the football culture is already there in the state. There was lack of opportunity. Of course, clubs like Lajong and Aizawl FC filled in. But now with tournaments like these coming up, even local clubs will be coming up in a bigger way. Mr. Roite, initially, in the initial days of the I-League, if I remember correctly, of course, even teams like Lajong, teams like Aizawl FC and most of the teams, clubs in the Northeast, whoever can would go for foreign coaches. Then it came to some of the Indian coaches. In the last few years, in the last 5-6 years, of course, we have homegrown coaches. We have our own talent who are coaching our boys, even the senior team. That's quite an achievement. And it's not only that. It's not that just these are local talent is working for the clubs here. Of course, players from the Northeast have always been part of clubs anywhere in the country for the last 2 decades. That is nothing new. What is new, of course, is that now coaches from the Northeast are also training teams outside. We have coaches from this very Northeast, from Shillong, from Aizawl, who are now training ISL teams. That's great.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Especially, we need to go for foreign coach, Indian coaches. But as of now, even Aizawl FC has its own local coach at the senior level also. And I'm very proud to mention that Aizawl FC has the all Mizoram players, all Mizoram coaching staff, all Mizoram physiotherapists and secretariat support staff, all are from Mizoram. So this could be possible. And of course, it's a little bit risky to have all Mizoram players at the I-League level, but still, it has been my dream and my vision to have all Mizoram players in the I-League level. And I want to test the capacity, the capability of the local players also. So let us see how they perform in the I-Leagues, in the senior I-League level. And I am sure that Northeast, all the states, including Nagaland, Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim, the local people can also do, local players can do, because high percentage of ISL players are from Northeast. And
Absolutely.
not only playing in the, not only as a players, but as a coaching staff also. The Northeast can contribute a lot for the Indian football.
Absolutely. Mr. Neiphiu Sensei, clubs like yours, clubs like yours have been going to the rural areas, scouting for talent. You have contributed a lot to the grassroots level football in Nagaland. What are the challenges that you have faced over the years in scouting talent? And do you see that football culture already there at the rural level? Most of our footballers, young footballers, come from rural areas of the state. So what are some of the challenges that you have faced over the years?
Participating in the Nagaland Super League is a different level that we are facing. We have been participating in local tournaments, particularly knockout tournaments, and also the Kohima Football League, which we have also won the title in 2018. Of course, we have a non-residential football academy here, being SLFC, being the sub-regional headquarters, the administrative headquarters of our region under Kohima district. We assemble players and also give them football coaching and all. We are providing every year, annually we are giving football coaching under our 2 coaches who have AIFFB certificate and also AFC certificate. We are trying our best as a club to promote football at our level, of course. So the little that we could achieve, we also are proud of that, yet we want to enter in the real football scene. In the presence of two prominent, two coaches of two prominent clubs here, the Aizawl FC and the Shillong Lajong, they have done a lot for football. They are also going by football clubs. They are also the pride of Northeast. And in the past years, when we see Naga players, when we are to compare ourselves with states like Manipur or even Mizoram or even Meghalaya or even, if I said, other states, we have not seen many footballers excel at the higher level. But of course, with this Nagaland Super League, it is a big challenge for a club like us. It is also a big task lies ahead of us yet. I believe the people that we have scouted, the 30-member squad, we are going to give our best. And also we hope to see that footballers here in Nagaland and particularly the Northeast will get to see, will utilize this football platform through the Nagaland Super League to excel in football.
Absolutely. Mr. Bene Lamthiu, do you think the best part of the Nagaland Super League would be that it will set a benchmark, as Mr. Neiphiu just stated, it will set a benchmark for the youth, the young footballers of the state, that they want to aspire, they will aspire to play for the Nagaland Super League, the NSL, and those clubs, those 7 to 8 clubs, I'm sure the participation will go up in the next season. So there is something to look forward to for that young rural footballer who is looking to make big in the field, isn't it? Do we have Mr. Bene Lamthiu online? Yeah.
Yes. Hello. You hear me?
Go ahead.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Of course, it is going to be a benchmark for the youngsters. Yeah, it is going to be a benchmark for the youngsters. You see, this is the first Nagaland Super League. And the players that are participating in this particular edition, they are going to be role models. Nagaland has not dearth of raw talents and footballers. So, of course.
Okay, we are facing some network issues.
Yeah, hello, you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. I can hear you.
Yes. Yeah, we have some technical issues, but I hope I'm audible.
Yeah, go ahead. Please go ahead. I can hear you.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Of course, it is going to be a very big platform, and then it's going to pave way for a lot of youngsters to take sports seriously, especially football as a career. They are the youngsters of our state, the young lads are going to look up to this NSL as a career option for the future. Of course, it's going to lead the youngsters in the right way.
Absolutely. Mr. Lasing Ming, of course, we just heard the NSL chairman saying that the ticket sales has been going good. Sizable number of tickets have been sold, and of course, online sale of tickets is picking up. That's great news. If you remember back during the early 2000s and till 2011-12, if I'm not mistaken, even for the local leagues, for the Shillong Premier League, the average crowd in Shillong would be anywhere between 12 to 15,000. That was a big number, and then there are another couple of thousand waiting outside to get in. All that changed the moment I-League came to Shillong. Of course, we used to have a full house for I-League those days. The newly built Jain Stadium will have well over 15,000 strong crowd for all the I-League matches that Lajong was playing. But what that did is that the crowd reduced in the local league matches. Of course, the people who are now seeing I-League, the top level football in the country, a lot of interest was lost in the local leagues. Similar scenes were also witnessed to an extent in Aizawl. Retaining the fan, of course on social media fans do give their support to the club, so retaining the fan and bringing him to the ground, even for a club like Lajong has its t-shirts and merchandise all across the Northeast. I mean, you are in the Northeast, you will see a Lajong t-shirt right the moment you land in Guwahati. You will spot a Lajong t-shirt or a Lajong merchandise, and that's great achievement for a club from the region. But retaining that has still been difficult. What could be the way forward for that?
See, football is one of the reasons why football is so popular across the world, because it's also a part of identity. You know, if you talk about, one of the biggest derbies in the world being in Kolkata, it's all about identity. It's about football clubs being a representative of community. And that's what actually keeps football clubs going. In England, they say that banks, always are ready to fund football clubs in the local pub, for the simple reason that football clubs, even in England, have always been either locality based or town based or city based. And I think so definitely the concept of identity is very important. In Lajong, Lajong is our own. So right from the seed, it was about creating talent for our own talent in Meghalaya, which over time became our own talent for the entire Northeast. And that was our play with coming into the I-League with players from across the region. We played in Manipur I-League, we've played I-League in Guwahati, and we've played I-League in Shillong. And so that is one of the reasons. Also generational. We've been in existence at the national level for more than 15, 16 years. And so I think that as a result, a huge generation of youngsters have grown up watching or supporting the club. So while support, and that's the reason why we probably see a lot of support everywhere. And agreed, it is not easy to have full houses all the time. But at the same time, building a football club is not a 1 year or a 2 year phenomena. This is something that I would like to advise all football clubs, even the ones that are starting off in Nagaland. It's a long-term game. It's like starting a plantation. It will not give you immediate success, or for that matter, you might be successful in the first few years, but it's really how you play the game in the long run that is going to determine how you can sustain over time. So I think football, that's the reason why football is so special. It is a sport that communities, where people identify with certain football clubs as their own and therefore supported for that particular reason. And so yes, so that's basically why. Again, the second point that you mentioned is that yes, it is a fact that till the time that the I-League was not there, there was a lot of football happening in the Shillong Premier League. We had a lot of support for all different clubs, 6,000, 7,000, 10,000, 15,000 people coming and watching the Shillong League. But over time, it was overshadowed by the I-League. But that's how football is. You keep growing. At least we had national players coming in and watching in Shillong. At the same time, one must remember that the reason why a club like Lajong, which is a small little club from Northeast in Shillong, could actually qualify for the I-League back in 2008-9 season, which is already 16 years ago, was for the sole reason that the league infrastructure in Shillong was very, very strong. And the full credit to the Shillong Sports Association for having created and sustained that league. And Shillong Sports Association is also one of the oldest district associations in the Northeast. And they've had this league going on for a long time. So again, it is generational. So these are the factors.
Absolutely.
And these are the reasons why.
Yeah, there are a lot of lessons here for any new tournament and any new venture that we get into, that you have to persevere. It has to be persistent. You have to be ready to take it on for over a decade or more. 20 years on, the league has to go on. That's how a structure is built, a strong domestic structure that will catapult your club to the I-League level. We'll take a very short break here once again. Lots more on the other side. Welcome back. You're watching this special broadcast on the NSL. If I can go to Mr. Royte, Robert Romavia Royte. Mr. Royte, of course, we are just talking about the challenge of retaining the crowd, retaining the fan. Can big clubs in the Northeast coordinate and collaborate, be imaginative to improve things probably in a way that the fan base grows, remains intact? Probably we can have, of course, with the permission of the AIFF, probably we can have some tournaments of our own. Some of the top clubs can take part in the tournament, and also invite some of the top clubs from other parts, like Nagaland, for instance, now from Manipur, from other parts, invite them to take part in this tournament, some of which is already happening, but at a junior level. At that level, most of the senior players are not playing. But do you think that should happen more often in popular venues, so that the fan base remains intact and the club grows? You sell more of your merchandise, you have more sponsors. Of course, that is, you need money, resource, of course, and fans to grow, isn't it?
Thank you. You see, Mizoram is very different from other states in terms of, you see, fans participation and fans coming to the football ground. Of course, when Aizawl FC, you see, played I-League in the initial years, fans coming to the stadiums are in big numbers. But unfortunately, when I-League was not telecast in TV, well, almost all the state level tournaments, including under 17, under 19, and even district level tournaments are live in the local TV. And I League not live in the TV. There seems to be, you see, gap between the fans and the match. So that may be the reason why Aizawl FC's fans coming to the ground has reduced in the recent years. But from this year, I-League has, you see, proper broadcaster, and fans are coming, becoming increase and increase. You see, unlike other states, in Mizoram, even local tournaments, not of the leagues, the state leagues, but even local tournaments are always live in the TV. So the match without
Yes.
live coverage of
Yes.
TV, it is always people are always negligent of the match. It is a challenge. Nagaland, of course, I would like to tell them that they have to have a proper plan to sustain the crowds at the field, because crowds should be in the field. And supporters, in terms of supporters, Aizawl FC have the same number of supporters, but the people who comes to the ground are reduced enormously in the last 4 or 5 years, and it picking up in this year only because of the publicity, the broadcast. And the second reason for this may be a good number of ISL players are playing. ISL players are there in the you see ISL league from Mizoram, and the priority, the precedence, is always ISL now. And I League has, because of the popularity, the growing popularity of ISL, I League popularity has come down, and that also is a big factor in the case of Mizoram.
Time to qualify for the ISL, and that's of course not impossible for the sides from the northeast. Mr. Banay Lamthew, Nagaland is one state which is always good at events, organizing events. Do you see this NSL also as a major event and attraction where you can promote it in a way that brings the crowd, which brings in more sponsors? Why more crowd? Because more crowd leads to more sponsors, and that is very important for sustenance. So are you looking at this entire thing as a whole package, not just a game of football, not just a match of football between two clubs, but an event? It's a festival. It's a festival of sports that is beginning tomorrow. Are you looking at it that way? Okay, we are facing some network issues there. Same question to you, Mr. Nibu. Can we look at it as a sports fest, somewhere we go, enjoy ourselves, and people should know about it, come in large numbers, it should be popular, there should be more attraction apart from the football. Yes, football is the key, there should be added attraction probably, even the top leagues are doing it these days, and I know Mizoram, Nagaland, these are states which are really good at events.
Yes, of course, this is going to be a big opportunity for footballers in Nagaland. We are thankful to the government of Nagaland, the Nagaland Football Association, and also the Nagaland Olympics Association for taking the lead in organizing the Nagaland Super League. This is going to be a football extravaganza festival where people are going to, I believe, we hope to see that people are going to come in good numbers. We have selected the NSL governing body has selected two venues for the league, the ID Stadium, Indira Gandhi Stadium, Kohima, and Chimukadima football stadium down there in Chimukadima. Yeah, so we are used to knockout tournaments, but with the MFA coming forward to organize this, the league, it is a big platform for all the players, yes.
Absolutely. We are running out of time. Mr. Lar Singh Ming, when do we see a Northeast League, a league where we see the top clubs from the region playing? It could be in multiple venues across the top venues of the region, but fans, I'm sure, are eagerly awaiting this kind of a league. Of course, we have a lot of friendly matches between the top clubs, but not a professional league. Can we have one soon?
I think that's what one of our co-panelists had mentioned earlier, that there is a plan to create a Northeast League. But unfortunately, it's not the champions of the state leagues that are going to play there. It's going to be the runners-up. So I think more than the Northeast League, what I hope to see is actually vibrant state leagues in all the 8 states of the Northeast. If every state has a vibrant state league, supported by a good grassroots, a grassroots league and youth leagues, and eventually I would rather like to see more teams from the Northeast playing in the I-League. So I wouldn't be surprised that if this Nagaland State League is sustained for the next 5 to 7 years, I will not be surprised that a team from Nagaland qualifies for the I-League within the next 5 years or so, 5 to 7 years for sure, and for that matter, other states as well. What would also be encouraging for Northeast football is to ensure and to hope that at some stage we have at least 2 teams in the ISL. So that for me would be, what as a football, someone who loves football and wants to see Northeast football grow, I'd love to see at least 2 teams in the ISL so that we can have nice local Northeast derbies, 3-4 teams in the I-League, and a vibrant state league across the 8 states. If that happens, I'm sure that a population of 4.5 crores can definitely play a big role in taking Indian football further in the next decade and a half.
Absolutely, taking Indian football further in the next decade.
Yeah, I think that should be our objective. Northeast has a much larger role to play in taking Indian football forward, and that's what we look forward to.
Absolutely. Just on that line, before we end, we have this reactions from some of the top players, young players, guest players who are taking part in this first edition of the NSL tomorrow. Let's have a quick look.
My name is Neiphiu Rio, representing 4th-year Warrior, and I'm looking forward to Nagaland Super League first season. Please come support us.
Hello everyone, my name is Henry Kamay. I'll be representing Barak FC for the upcoming NSL Season 1. So please do come and support Barak FC. Let's go!
This is Sen Mong Machang, and I will be playing for Fondawai Football Club in the first season of Nagaland Super League. So please come and witness our game and support us. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Hang Lan Zhang, the captain of the Frontier Warriors Football Club. We are fully prepared and looking forward to this Nagaland Super League. Do come and cheer for us.
My name is Madhumar Bongonar. I'm playing for SLFC FC in NSL Season 1. Come and support us. Let's go Red Hawks!
My name is Kevi Sanapesi. A lot of people know me as Kevi. I'll be representing Barak FC Peren for the upcoming Nagaland Super League. We are so excited. We are thrilled and pumped to be playing in the first season of this NSL. We are hoping to see a lot of you supporting us in the first season.
My name is Remy Aimol. I'm representing Red Scar FC. I'm really looking forward to NSL. Let's go Red Hawks!
Come and support us. each one of them very excited, and so are we. Stage is set for the first Nagaland Super League, and I'm sure everyone will be watching tomorrow and for the years to come. Thank you so much, gentlemen, Mr. Larsing Ming, Mr. Roite, Mr. Bene, Mr. Neiphiu, for your time, and let's hope the debut edition of NSL is a big success and we see more such leagues in all the Northeast states. As mentioned by Mr. Roite and Mr. Ming, we should have good sound leagues, state leagues in every state, and at least 2 to 3 clubs, more and more clubs from the region should be playing in the I League, and at least 2 clubs from the region should be playing in the ISL. That will be really a success story for Northeast, which is considered the powerhouse of Indian football. That's a wrap of this special broadcast.